You're going to wake up one morning and they're going to blow a large area of a city into a giant smoldering 2-mile wide black crater with images of humans welded into magma glass. You'll have the media showing people burned into glass. The horror of the patriot. They'll probably call it, if I was them, the George Washington Group. The George Washington Group will nuke a city. And we'll learn that the George Washington Group joined with Iran. That's right. They were mad about Syria and stuff, there's 100 different ways they could do it, but they killed more than 70,000 died instantly when the low-yield weapon detonated, or it might be a big one. The U.S. Army soldiers in the George Washington Group, they smuggled out a 10-megaton or maybe a 20-megaton warhead, and then they detonated it in a major city. Might even be Los Angeles, Chicago, Dallas, Austin. But a lot of the elite live here. They probably won't do Austin. And it'll just be, oh my gosh, we're all so scared. We better do whatever we're told now and hunt down the people that did it. Because after all, you don't want to argue with this and say that the government might have done. I mean, they would never. Sure, they'd give over 100 million Americans knowingly cancer viruses to die horribly excruciating deaths years later. On record, but they would never kill 60, 70,000 and blind another 50,000 and burn hundreds. I mean, they would not. Sure, they'd kill tens of millions, but they would not. I mean, the government funded Al-Qaeda in Syria, and the UN did get caught sterilizing people in Africa with tetanus shots that had hormones added to them. But, and that's fine, because you can't believe it. I can see into the mind of the New World Order. And it's not some psychic thing. I live this. I know them. I know the enemy. And I know who they are. I know their heart. Because I'm going to be honest with you, folks, I love God and I have a good heart, but I got a big, fat, evil streak right down the middle. Like everybody does. But mine runs deep. And I can... Basically, like a crystal ball's two-way, folks. They can see what we're doing. I can see what they're doing. And by the way, you can do that as well as soon as you start looking at who these people are. And, I mean, I know who they are. I know what they plan. I know what they want to do. They got a lot of different plans laid out on the table, and they're trying to figure out which one's best and how this is going to work and how that's going to work. And they may... I don't think this will happen until they've got the real clamp down in place and the police state grid and turn the energy sources off to make you totally dependent. Then they'll have some smaller bioweapons releases to scare everybody into really going into kind of a medical tyranny. And then they will just release a bioweapon that they, of course, have the cure for, that are being tested in subterranean facilities on humans all over the world. Like the atomic soldiers and the rest of it. And they will release the White Plague, something like that. And when they release the White Plague, you will know what it is to throw your gold in the streets and to beat yourself on the head repenting to God, and it'll be too late. It'll be too late. They're going to release bioweapons. They've already released them in the food and water, but they're slow kill so that you can't figure out what happened to you. They're slowly turning up the heat, though, to get you weakened and so toxic and so poisoned and so confused that you can't communicate and operate. So they first hit you with a layer of chemical and biological weapon to stun you, because they might get caught if they come up with a frontal attack right up front. And then once they've done that and spiritually and psychically wounded you and psychically damaged you and fired their darts into you, once you're kind of rolling around on the ground, then they're going to come over and stick their big black fangs into you, big spider. So they're going to stick them right into the whole society and just suck it dry because you asked for it, because you opened the gates. all the hell that's coming with it. You think what you've seen so far, that's just the scouts of Satan, the vanguard. But the big engines, the big siege weapons are rolling in through the interdimensional gate, manifesting, and all hell is coming with it. Every form of wickedness invented, just things the world has never seen unfolding. If you let this evil resonate. See, they've only stunned you now and wrapped you up. And some of us are trying to get away. We're the extremists, and they're reaching out with a leg to grab us and trying to put spinnerets around us because they want to get us all lined up so they can have a big feast. Because, see, we're not defenseless bugs. We're more powerful than the spider. We're like a colossus made in the image of God that allows this horrible diseased jellyfish to attach to us and suck our blood out. And we bow to it because it wears a black uniform, or it has epaulets on with stars. And oh, let us bow to the succubus. Let us bow to the diseased, rotting zombie forces of the New World Order. Oh, you're so scary. Oh, you're so powerful. Oh, I'm so afraid of you. Here, let me lay down. You come tie me up because you'll be nice to me if I do that. And the spider says, yes, I will. I'm gonna be very nice to you. I hope this doesn't hurt. Let me get you used to putting my hands on you. Line up over there. I'm going to take your kids and your wife, and I'm going to touch them in front of you now. And now I'm going to just teach the kids to be putting handcuffs at school. I'm going to put this on you. I had giant prisons full of people where we suck their souls out and feed them designer GMO. We're testing on them, and where we sterilize the women. Oh, let me put the spinneret on there. Let me get it all nice and then tie you down. You're going to like this. And now that you're paralyzed in horror, and now that you can't do anything, and now that you're laying there, you know I'm going to suck everything out of you now. How's that feel? They are spiders. I mean, I see them. They are giant demonic spiders, folks, operating basically through humans. That's what possession is. The Bible's all right, folks. We are dealing with giant demonic entities that for the entire history of humanity have been sucking on us and hurting us and trying to twist us and trying to hurt. And now they're getting ready for their giant war against humanity before we get off world, before we go to the next level, before the things the eye has not seen, the ear has not heard, before we're given all that. They desperately want to destroy us and annihilate us, and that's what makes me sick. That's what makes me want to throw up. And if I had to describe these entities, they're like spiders. We're not dealing with a bunch of slee stacks here, folks. And I'm sure the media can have fun with that, but over a billion, really it's 2 billion people say they're Christian. I mean, isn't that what the Bible says? It comes to kill, steal, and destroy. It comes to enslave the innocent. It comes to persecute the women and the children. I mean, these people are demons. And whether they exist or not, I'm saying the archetype of the Jeffrey Dahmer, is that not a spider luring 13-year-olds and people into his house to torture them for weeks on end, injecting their brain with acid that he'd read about to paralyze them so they could be in horror but not scream? The spider. The spider. Our enemy is the spider. I'm telling you right now, these people act and behave exactly like spiders. So there's your analogy, there's your archetype. Folks, Spider-Man, he ain't your friend. See how that archetype? All of this stuff is you're being bombarded continually by these predators. So realize the system is run by spiders. Spiritually speaking, I mean, that's how I would describe the devil archetypally. I don't mean literal, spiders, but they want to carve us up real nice. They want to take their time from end to end destroying humanity, and we have to say no to it. And that's what I basically wanted to get to today. We'll come back, and I will jam in as many as I can in this final segment. And I'll be completely exhausted after the broadcast today, but I just had to go over all this with you today. And that's all they're doing. That's why they're telling your kids they're racist, because they have a brown bag. The spider's making contact, saying, you're bad, let me tie you up, and this will turn out okay. It will not. Stockholm Syndrome will not protect you. I know the spider's scary, folks, but you're going to have to fight it. You understand that? And that's what Obama is. He's a sick predator. When you look in his eyes, he loves conning old ladies. He loves knowing he's going to ruin their life. He loves setting people up. He loves setting a trap, a web. The World Wide Web. They love the web. They love capturing us. Well, you know what? I've come, ladies and gentlemen, with the sword, and we're going to dispatch these spiders. Washington group will nuke a city. And we'll learn that the George Washington group joined with Iran. Giant, smoldering, 2-mile-wide black crater with images of humans welded into magma glass. You'll have the media showing people. You're going to wake up one morning and they're going to blow a large area of a city into it, burned into glass. The horror of the patriot. They'll probably call it, if I was them, the George Washington group. The George